What devices and accommodations best fit your child? A brief overview brought to you by Anthony Alia and Gary Hagan.
Before deciding which hearing device is the best fit for your child, it is important to look at their audiogram. The audiogram is a hearing test that shows a person's hearing at different pitches and frequencies. The severity of the hearing loss is based upon the results of the audiogram. Depending on the severity of your child's hearing loss, certain devices will be better suited for them. After knowing your child's audiogram results, you can look into devices that will help them. The four main types of devices we will briefly discuss are the hearing aid, Baha, implant, and Canso. The hearing aid is a device that will amplify sounds for your child. This device can help people in quiet and noisy environments by making the sounds louder. The hearing aid is composed of three parts: microphone, amplifier, and speaker. The sound from the environment is picked up by the microphone. The sound is converted into electrical signals and are then sent to the amplifier. The amplifier takes the electrical signals, increases their power, and sends them to the speaker so the sound is delivered to the ear. There are three main types of hearing aid styles: behind the ear, in the ear, and canal. Behind the ear hearing aids are placed and worn behind the ear and are connected to an ear mold that is inside the outer ear. An in-the-ear hearing aid is worn inside the outer ear. The canal hearing aid is placed in the ear canal. The hearing aid is most beneficial for those who have a sensorineural hearing loss or a hearing loss that is mild to moderate in severity. The hearing aid is usually not covered by insurance and can cost up to thousands of dollars depending on the type and style. Some hearing aids will include a warranty and maintenance repair. The Baha system works to provide hearing through bone conduction. It is made up of three parts: titanium fixture, abutment, and external sound processor. The titanium fixture is implanted in the bone behind the ear. This implant requires a minor surgery, which is an outpatient procedure. The abutment attaches the sound processor to the implant. Sound vibrations are picked up in the environment and sent through the abutment to the implant. The vibrations are sent from the bone to the cochlea. The Baha works by allowing the bone to transfer sound to the working cochlea instead of through the middle ear. The Baha is beneficial for someone with little to no hearing in one ear but normal hearing in the other ear. It is good for someone with a conductive or mixed hearing loss. The Baha is covered by Medicare and by most insurance plans.
These next few slides will introduce four different kinds of implants that your deaf and hard of hearing child could receive. The middle ear implant is one that is suitable for those with mild, moderate, mixed, or conductive hearing loss or a sensorineural hearing loss. It can also provide for mixed or conductive hearing losses an alternative to a bone-anchored hearing aid or those with any above-the-ear problems. An example is seen on the left. The cochlear implant is a surgically implanted electronic device that provides a sense of sound to a person who is profoundly deaf or severely hard of hearing in both ears. The implant has a coil to receive signals, electronics, and an array of electrodes which is placed into the cochlea, which stimulate the cochlear nerve. This next type of implant is the electric acoustic stimulation implant, which is basically a hearing aid and a cochlear implant together in the same ear. The hearing aid acoustically amplifies the low frequencies, while the cochlear implant electrically stimulates the middle and high frequencies. This next type of implant is the auditory brainstem implant, which is suitable for those with profound sensorineural hearing loss. This requires another surgically implanted internal part along with an outside processor. In this way, the auditory brainstem implant aims to give a sense of sound when the hearing nerve is not working. The Canso models are another type of device that you can consider for your deaf and hard of hearing child. This serves exactly like a cochlear implant, just doesn't have the around the ear processor part and just sticks right onto the head. These next few slides will introduce different accommodations that your child can use at home or in their school environment. This first accommodation is the CapTel closed captioning phone, which is a phone with a screen attached to it that displays every word the caller says throughout the conversation. This next accommodation is the Clarity system, which is highly recommended. This system, vibrates the deaf and hard of hearing individual's bed when the phone rings, a clock goes off, an alarm goes off, or someone knocks at the door to make them aware. This next accommodation is the frequency modulation system, also known as the FM. This system requires the teacher or professor to wear a microphone and the child wears a receiver. When the teacher talks, it will sound as if the person is right next to the child talking in their ear. This next accommodation is one that can be really useful in the classroom. CPRINT and CART, which stands for Communication Access Real-Time Translation, is one that requires somebody on-site or off-site that listens to the lecture or discussion and types it. The captioning will come up word for word and be visual to the child in front of them. This next accommodation is another one that can be very useful in the classroom. The sound field system requires a speaker to be anywhere placed in the room and the teacher or professor to wear a microphone. This will enhance speech understanding and improve learning for all students in the classroom. This next accommodation is interpreter. This requires somebody to follow the deaf and hard of hearing child around and interpret the information for them. Deaf and hard of hearing individuals can use ASL interpreters or oral interpreters.
For more information, please visit the following websites.